Hi, this is Dr. Leslie Manson.
I'm Dr. Mark Rudy.
I'm Dr. Freitas.
This is Dr. Nicholas.
Dr. Curl.
Just wanted to let you know that if you need us, we're still here.
Estamos aquí.
We're still here.
We're still here.
We're still here for you.
We mental health providers of Arizona wanted to extend our warm support and these brief educational videos to reduce stress and navigate challenges. If you need help, please reach out. We're still here for you.
All right. Well, hello there. My name is Dr. Nick Arndt. I'm a psychiatrist in training. Today, I'm really happy to interview Dr. Grandner, who agreed to talk with me. He's one of the head sleep researchers here at the U of A. I'll let him introduce himself a little bit.
Sure. My name is Michael Grandner. I am the director of the Sleep and Health Research Program and also the Behavioral Sleep Medicine Clinic here at the University of Arizona. So I'm a clinical psychologist by training, board certified in behavioral sleep medicine.
And I understand you see a lot of people with sleep problems.
Yeah, lots of different kinds of sleep problems of all different flavors.
Okay. Well, something that has seemed to come up a lot with the coronavirus lately is people having crazy coronavirus dreams.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get your thoughts about what's going on with that, or why are people having all these intense dreams?
Yeah, I've had lots of people bring this up, whether it's just, family members, friends, pretty much anyone I talk to, a lot of people are saying, yeah, what's up with these crazy dreams that I'm having lately? My dreams are way more vivid. And so I've got a couple answers for that. First is, don't worry. It's nothing to worry about unless the dreams are so disturbing they're sort of impacting your functioning. There's probably a couple of underlying causes for that. One is, first, I got to say, we don't know for sure because nobody's ever done a study of what happens to population level dreaming during pandemics using objective recording. Like, no one's ever done it. It's never happened before. So this is all a guess, but my guess is that there's a couple things happening at the same time that are all sort of coming together to create sort of these crazy dreams that everyone's having. First is sort of what dreams are and what dreams are for. So dreams are, to some degree, you're witnessing your brain speaking to itself and processing information and reorganizing itself and comparing and building connections and pruning connections and all these sorts of things. So that's what dreams are. You're witnessing this neuroscience event that's not really supposed to be an experience, but you're experiencing it. And that's why it can be kind of bizarre and it can bring in stuff from your day and it can be very emotional and involve memory. And one of the important functions of dreams, or one of the functions that are supposed to happen with dreams, is it's supposed to help you process stuff. It's supposed to help you integrate what happens in your day, anticipate the future, build connections between things, and help take you from the person who you were today and help you become the person you're going to be tomorrow. And if that's what dreams are for, if you think about it, we're all going through stuff right now that needs to be processed, whether we are trying to better understand the world around us and being worried about ourselves or our family members or society, whether we're worried about our jobs or our kids or our parents, trying to figure out how to get through our day. All of these things that we're dealing with right now. I mean, one day there's sports, the next day there's no sports. One day you're allowed to get your hair cut, the next day no haircuts. Like we're living in this world where there's lots of these big and small problems and changes that are being thrown at us. And everyone's sort of reacting a different way because all our lives are a little bit different and it's affecting us in all these different ways. And I think a lot of it is coming out in our dreams, where our dreams are helping to make sense of this world that's constantly changing underneath our feet. And these vivid dreams are just an example of that. Another thing that I think is going on, separate from that, is that our sleep itself is changing. So our sleep is changing in terms of the timing and the duration. So a lot of people might be sleeping a little more. A lot of people might be not cutting their sleep short because they might not have the same sort of commute in the morning. They might not be getting up quite as early as they used to. Maybe it's that they're sleeping longer. Maybe it's their timing is just shifting a little later or something, and they're able to sleep in. If that is the case, that might also change how you experience dreams as well, because those type of dreams that are vivid and have plots and characters and emotions, they largely occur during the REM stage of sleep. So REM occurs throughout the night. You're going to have REM cycles about every 90 to 100 minutes, give or take.
Sure.
But the REM episodes toward the end of the night, after you've been asleep for 5 or 6-ish hours, those REM episodes tend to be a little longer, where you have less of the really deep sleep and more REM sleep toward the latter couple hours of the night. So if you're able to extend your sleep, most of what you're getting is a little bit extra REM sleep. And if that's the case, then you might be opening up yourself to more of an opportunity to have dreams. Especially if in the past you've been restricting your sleep for one reason or another, whether it's work or whatever. If you've been restricting your sleep and now all of a sudden you're not, you might actually get a REM rebound, where your REM periods might be especially intense because your body has sort of been holding back for so long, and now it gets to release.
So for many of us that were showing up to work at 7 a.m., now we get to hit the snooze at 6 o'clock for another hour. We start to have those more intense dreams.
Exactly. So that might be part of what's happening, at least for some people. There may be other things going on too, but at the end of the day, one other thing that might be happening also is that our sleep might be a little more fragmented, where we might be having more awakenings, or at least more awakenings out of REM sleep. So like I mentioned, you have these REM episodes across the night, and most people will be dreaming multiple times a night, just we don't remember it all. The dreams that are the most memorable are the ones at the end of the night, because those are the most intense ones, but also we forget most of those too. The ones we remember are the ones we wake up from, and where consciousness intrudes into the dream. Even if it doesn't normally belong there, but when consciousness intrudes, you can start forming memories and things. So that's how you can be aware of it.
Start having those thoughts of, maybe this isn't reality that I'm experiencing.
or when you, and I mean, so you have lucid dreaming, but then also just if you wake up from a dream, that's the dream you remember. You remember waking up from it. And so if you're waking up more, especially more toward the end of the night, especially if you're sleeping in a little bit longer, you're more likely to be waking up during a REM episode, in which case you're more likely to be remembering more dreams. So maybe some people aren't even experiencing any more and more intense dreams than they ever are. It's just they're remembering more because their sleep might be more interrupted. So honestly, we have no idea. I have no idea. Like, there's no data. Hopefully someone publishes something, but there's no data. This is all a guess. But those are my 3 educated guesses as to why this is happening. And like I said at the beginning, the good news is dreams are good. They're great. They're natural. Our body needs them to function properly. They serve a lot of great purposes. So don't be worried about them. If you're having problems with your dreams or having nightmares, like, that could be an issue. And there are treatments for that. But in general, maybe, keep a dream journal, jot it all down, write as much as you can remember, and then look back on it a year from now or 2 years from now or 10 years from now and say, here's my Corona dream diary, So yeah.
Something tells me your dream journal is a little bit more extensive than mine.
Well, I mean, everyone's a little bit different, and most people I know who do keep some sort of a dream journal, they tend not to regret it. But anyway, yeah, I think it's a good thing.
Dr. Graner, I know you had some thoughts that, other than just the vivid dreams, people are also having other sleep problems that are coming up with all of this. I mean, you mentioned maybe some people are sleeping better. I think that is the case for me, but for others, there's kind of all these new stresses. What have you been finding?
Yeah, so I've seen a couple of patterns, whether it's just talking to people out in the world or even with the patients in the insomnia clinic. Um, there's a few patterns that I've seen. One is people having a hard time detaching at night. For these people, whether it's that they're sort of glued to the news, or they're sort of checking the stats, or they're worrying, for one reason or another, they're having a really hard time detaching. And what this is doing is it's causing people to stay up later and maybe have a harder time falling asleep. So it's causing some of this beginning of the night insomnia. More than, this is very common in the population anyway. It's just now there might be more people experiencing it. And for those people, one of the things I want to say is remind yourself that sleep is important, and that if you want to be able to make time for sleep, you got to give yourself enough time to wind down. And if you're glued to the news or stats, or you're worrying, or you're unable to disconnect, you're going to have a harder time winding down. And if you're worrying about, say, what if something happens and I miss it? I would challenge you to ask yourself, so what? So what are you going to do about it? If they say on the news that something is happening somewhere, can you help? Is there anything you could be doing at 10, 11, midnight that will actually make the situation better? I would argue probably not. You knowing that information is not helpful. If anything, searching for that information and keeping yourself activated is doing more harm than good. If it was something important, it'll be there in the morning. The news does not care whether or not you watch it. The news channels do, but the information does not care. And unless it directly relates to you, you can watch it in the morning. You'll catch up in the morning, and no one's going anywhere.
And there is kind of this emotional draw of having the news or the stats or searching for things. And I think if I don't have a habit, often it's hard to do something else.
Right.
So
especially since it's like social media, where the feed is endless. The feed is never full, right? And you can keep going and going and going, and you never find the end. And if anything, it's built that way to keep you engaged, which is an enemy of sleep. And so what I would say to do is, how when you're going to land a plane, they say now is the time to power down your large electronic devices and in anticipation of landing, right? And so I suggest doing that, or maybe even set an alarm of like, look, I want to go to bed at 11, so I'm going to set an alarm for 10 or 10:15 or 10:30 of like, all right, I've reached the end of my day. In order to land at 11, I need to start descending now. And now is about the time to wrap up whatever it is you're doing, start turning stuff off. If you're going to be watching something, at least watch something that's not going to be so mentally engaging, you're going to have a hard time winding down from it. So having that reminder is helpful.
Just wanted to let you know that if you need us, we're still here.
Estamos aquí.
We're still here.
We're
still
here.
We're still here for you.
If you need help, please reach out. We're still here for you.